coordinate myself here. I'm trying. Okay, we've got a hand up over here. All right, so the main thing that distinguishes thick skin from thin skin, as we mentioned, is how thick the epidermis is. And so that is the live cell layers here, and then the dead cell husk layers up here. And so this is your stratum corneum, as you can see, and then this is the epidermis that gave rise. This whole area is called the epidermis, okay? But this particular layer, the stratum corneum, is distinguished by not having any nuclei, and so you're not getting the same staining characteristic. And in here are the layers, the basal cell layers, the stratum spinosum layer, which is going to make up the majority of your skin, is the stratum spinosum layer. And then the very, very top layers, and I'll go to higher power in a minute, is your stratum granulosum layer, and then they become enucleated. And sometimes in certain sections, the stratum corneum has a lighter area just above the stratum granulosum, and that has a special name to it, which is the stratum lucidum. And I have yet to see a good example of that, but that's basically the enucleation and the immature husk, which isn't as dense perhaps and filled up with other components, so it's a little bit lighter. Okay, so we're going to go to higher power here. Increase the light. Oops. Okay, so we can bring this down. All right, you should go higher.
Pause.
Good.
Oh.
Here we go. That was great. Okay. So this probably is the best example of columnar basal cells, but you can really see a demarcation between the dermis and the epidermis here, and the first cell that interfaces that is the basal cell. And then you can appreciate now these are polygonal cells, these are stratum spinosum cells, and they are interdigitating with each other. And this is either a tangential slice, so you can see here the nuclei that are quite prominent for some of these. But the cells undergo some apoptosis too, so occasionally you'll see some apoptotic cells. But it's a specialized program apoptosis, so it's not our typical damage apoptosis, because of course they have to get rid of their nuclei and become empty husks, so it's a special program. And here, probably it's not the best on my side, but I'm hoping you guys can see the outermost layer is the granular layer. And if you look at very high power and you have a good slice, you can see little granules in this layer, and it's quite distinctive. So this also illustrates the epidermal peg that comes down. All right, so, and then the stratum corneum, you can see there's quite a lot of it here. All right, so here, look how thick that is, my gosh. So this whole layer here is the stratum lucidum, right? That's quite a lot of stratum lucidum. And then we've got the darker stratum corneum up here. So the stratum lucidum is really only seen in thick skin.